If you are a fan of self-improvement, then there's probably a high likelihood that you have messed up with how you're going about it. How do I know this? Because I have sincerely messed up with it for years. So, keeping everything simple, let's talk about that real quick here. When I talk about messing up with self-improvement, I'm referring to kind of like three main things as to what makes it go wrong. And I have been a culprit of every single one of these, and it sucks. Like, it honestly does, because I believe I'm making progress. I am consuming all the content. I'm watching all the videos, listening to podcasts, reading books, and nothing's getting better. It's not fixing my life. And that's when I realize, oh, you know what? I'm doing it wrong. There's a definite misstep with self-improvement that doesn't account for actually doing the work when we're focused on the wrong things. So the first thing that pops up here is just when you are only reading, you're only thinking, and you're only consuming the content itself. You're not applying it. You're not actively going out of your way to make sure that you are testing the theories from the books or the videos or the podcasts. It's essentially entertainment. And for myself, that's been a problem because I actually like self-improvement content. I enjoy listening to the theories, learning about the studies, and trying to just kind of expand my knowledge around that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but when it starts to take the place of actually doing the work, of actually convincing myself that I am somehow making progress, then it becomes a bit of an issue. But the Second thing is the fact that a change in mindset, but a no change in action doesn't actually lead to progress. So I learned about this just this morning, but I've been thinking about this for the past couple months here because I have been desperately through counseling, through again, self-help and personal development books, trying to fix my mindset, the way that I think about things, but all this in turn has done is, yeah, it's helped me process some of my emotional issues, helped me process some trauma that I have, but it has not actively helped me make progress and actionable changes in my day-to-day life. And that sucks. That kind of defeats the purpose, because if I'm not actively choosing to do something different, like I might approach the same situation and think about it completely differently than I did before, but if I'm still acting the same exact way, did I really make any changes or any progress at all? Ultimately, very little. Mindset's good and all. Like, that's important. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm also not going to keep giving myself a little pat on the back for simply doing the bare minimum, which is considering someone else's like point of view or experience or being empathetic. It's the fact that I need to actually do something different. And if I'm only thinking about it, I'm only, getting lost in the thought process, that's not true change. That's not actually making tangible results and creating a tangible butterfly effect that you will feel in your life. And then the other part of the process, or the third thing here that I get wrong, and I know a lot of other people get wrong too, is being too hard on the process. I'm trying to speed run like Sonic Adventure 2, just trying to get to the end goal here of, hey, I want to be different. I want to change my life. I want to be healthier. I want to not keep having these emotionally stunted responses and trauma reactions and triggers and anything else under the sun. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing to want. I think it's a pretty healthy thing to want. But the problem is I'm so hard on the process of, oh, I made a mistake here. Let me just spiral and feel the self-pity of getting it wrong, rather than giving myself that grace of, hey, this process is going to have ups and downs. And that in of itself doesn't always bode well when you're trying to make progress quickly. And in turn here, what we need to really do, and what I think will help, because this is what I'm implementing now to try to fix this, is we need to act fast and think slow. Because essentially, I need to just do the very things that I have been reading about, learning about, and actually put them into practice in my day-to-day life, because that is what will create the changes that I want to see. Because I can then consider, hey, did this actually work? What actually helped? That's the thinking slow part, because I have to consider, I did this differently. Did this actually go the way I thought it would? What do I need to adjust? What do I need to do differently for next time? And how will that be better? Seems reasonable. But the thing is, and like the real problem that I want to emphasize is that you can't let the emphasis stay on just consuming and thinking it through. The thing that I want to emphasize is you need to consume, but you need to implement and test. You need to make sure that you are validating whatever you are reading, whatever you are studying, and validate that it works for yourself. And that's the part that I've struggled to do for years, because I just wanted to get through as many books as possible. I wanted to say, oh, I read all these books. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? But the truth of the matter is, an object in motion stays in motion. If we are creating change and pursuing change, then we will see change in our life. This, again, does not mean that you should stop trying to learn, stop trying to read. I'm not going to stop trying to learn and read and study up on this stuff, but I need to actively do the exercises. I need to actively put this stuff into practice, and I can't just consume and hope that changing my mindset will change everything. If I change my actions, everything else will follow, as long as I'm thinking through what that actually means. Keeping everything simple. Like and subscribe if this is your first time here. Ring the notification bell so you know every time I upload a new episode, or every time I upload a new podcast episode. This is not a podcast episode. This is just a normal little rant, you guys, because I've been dealing with this for the past couple months and struggling with the issues for the past couple years. And so now we're here. Catch y'all later.